Díomh go léir agus tá fáilte roimh. You're all very welcome to this morning's in-person and online launch of the Atlantic Technological University, which is a landmark day for students and educators in the west and northwest of Ireland. Now, we've had wonderful support from groups and individuals across the region in advance of today's launch, and I'd like to take a moment to welcome some of our special guests, our public representatives, ministers, TDs, senators, mayors, councillors, staff, students, graduates, stakeholders, and friends, which covers everybody else. Over the course of this launch, we're going to hear from some of those most closely associated with the university, hear about the goals, the objectives, and the benefits for the region as a whole. And we'll also get an on-the-ground sense of the excitement for all involved. We'll also visit some of the campuses, and on the screen behind me we can see people standing by in Letterkenny, in Castlebar, and in Galway, as well as here, of course, in Sligo. And we're going to visit each of those venues shortly for a closer look at what lies ahead. We are, as well, streaming this event online, as I mentioned, and if you'd like to get involved, we're using the Atlantic TU hashtag on Twitter. So wherever you're watching, in Sligo, around Ireland, around the world, we welcome your greetings and comments. So let's begin with the background to this historic day when the new flag and emblem of Atlantic TU was raised for the very first time across multiple campuses in the region with the vocal support of members of Atlantic TU staff and student choir. Now, by reaching university status, not only will the campuses involved be able to provide a broader, more diverse range of courses for students, but those graduates will then bring that skill set to the region, along with all of the opportunities that lie therein. And these thoughts are echoed by our first speaker today, Minister for Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science, Simon Harris TD, Curriggy Fáilte Riva.
We did it. We've arrived. A decade of work and you've done it. I'm so delighted to be here in Sligo today. I'm so delighted to be joining our friends and colleagues and campuses right across the Northwest region for what is, I really believe, a red letter day a landmark day for the west and the northwest of this country. I'm so delighted to be joined by so many colleagues, and I'm not going to be in a position to name everybody, but here, sitting in front of me, I can see Minister Frank Feehan, Deputy Mark McSharry, Deputy Marion Harkin, Deputy Rose Conway-Walsh, so many members of Sligo County Council, my former colleague Tony McLaughlin, and so many people joining us by video link across the other campuses. And we're all here today because we want to be with you to celebrate this massive achievement. I'm conscious that we're standing here today on the back of 10 years of hard work, of hard slog, of ups and of downs, but we've gotten to this point. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to be with you and be with you in person. I know you're already 3 days old. I'm really sorry I didn't come yesterday because it looked like you were having an awful lot of fun here yesterday on Ferris wheels and everything else. But you are now the youngest technological university in our country. And the establishment of Atlantic Technological University is such an important moment for this region and an important moment for our third level agenda. And I must say, I think even the name Atlantic is magical. I think whichever one of all the bright people here in front of me came up with it and sent it to me, I think it is such a clever idea. Because when we think of the Atlantic Ocean, it's a journey that so many people have traveled for prosperity, for well-being, for employment, for hope of a better future. But sadly, it's been a journey that many have had to travel that's taken them away from our shores. What we're saying today is the Atlantic Technological University will provide the prosperity, the well-being, the employment, the better future here on our shores and on our island. And I really want to thank everybody for getting to this point. I'm also conscious that when we set up a new technological university, it does require us dissolving those that went before it. It requires us legally dissolving IT Sligo, LYIT, GMIT. And in many ways, amongst all the excitement and positivity, I'm sure there can be a little bit of mixed emotions around that. And I want to say to everybody who worked in those institutes of technology, we are only here today because we are standing on your shoulders and the foundations that you have laid. I want to thank you. I'm looking at Ray McSharry here in front of me, the first chair of the governing authority of IT Sligo. I want to thank every single person who worked and believed that the West and the Northwest deserved access to higher education, just like everybody else. I want to thank Brendan McCormack and Niall, the outgoing chair of the governing authority in Sligo. I want to thank Paul Hannigan and Fintan, the outgoing chair of Letterkenny IT. I want to thank Cormac and, of course, Orla Flynn across GMIT, Martin Cronin in his role as external chair of the CUA steering committee. I want to thank Sean Duffy. I want to thank all of you for all of the hard work that you put in, because today is a testament to your dedication, to your leadership, and to the passion that you have for your regions. I want to also thank all the staff and the students who have worked tirelessly to get us to this point. Today you have created a powerhouse for the West and the Northwest. Yes, a powerhouse for education, but also an engine for growth and regional development. You've created a university which will embed principles of access and inclusion. And this new TU will span a region offering around 600 academic programs for over 20,200 students and over 2,200 staff across its 8 campuses. And it will allow people in what has often been seen as a remote region of our island to obtain a university degree on the full gambit of qualifications in their home places. This is also a policy shift. It's about recognising that the days of all roads needing to lead to Dublin are gone. We need to start believing in and investing in regional Ireland. And as a minister and as a government, we have a clear ambition in that regard. Not all roads must lead to the big cities. People in the regions have just as much a right to be able to study, to be able to live, to be able to work in their regions. And people across the country should look to this region and say, I want to study there. I want to go and study in the Atlantic Technological University, because that's now a university of excellence in our country. This is a university that will train apprentices. It will do top-class research. It will engage with industry. It will ensure that the courses it provides matches the skills needs of the people and the future investment needs of this region. It will help the IDA as it travels boardrooms across this globe, knowing that you can come and invest in the Northwest and have access to a skilled workforce. And of course, you'll promote access to higher education, fostering lifelong learning, realizing that not every student is going to be 18 and want to pack their bags and head to college for 4 years. But students are going to need to be able to access education in a flexible way and a way that works for them. Politicians stand at podiums and use hackneyed phrases all the time, but I genuinely believe that this will be seen in due course as a landmark day for this region and a landmark day for higher education in Ireland. The potential is huge, and you'll soon indeed be joined by St. Angela's in Sligo, another member of the ATU family. I'm delighted with the new leadership of this university. I want to congratulate Orla Flynn, the first president of Atlantic Technological University. A fine choice, a passionate, committed, dedicated leader, and I know you're going to make, and are already making, an incredible difference to this region and to higher education. Cohortagus Orla, and the very best of luck. I want to thank Maura McNally for agreeing to serve as the first chair of our governing authority. It's the first, but not the last, all-female leadership team of a technological university, and we need to build on that. I want to thank you. And I want to thank Una Monaghan, I want to thank Phelan McNeila, and I want to thank Anne McHugh for serving on that governing authority as well. I know you'll steer the ship, you'll steer it with passion and with drive, and you're already doing that. From today, the new Atlantic Technological University, its staff and its students will chart a new and exciting course for your region and for our country. You will drive the agenda of higher education access, excellence in teaching and learning, regional development, research-informed education provision, and strengthened linkages between industry and the community. And sometimes, when I've stood at podiums like this in other parts of the country and we've launched a new technological university, there can be a little bit of cynicism. Not here, you've got it, you understand it. But people can say, sure, is that just a name change? Firstly, those people don't understand. But secondly, it's not. This is going to be supported by a very significant programme of investment. We are going to expand the footprint of higher education in the West and in the Northwest. And we've already started that. We indeed started it in Galway with the Galwegian site recently, and we've exciting capital projects right across this region now to ensure that more students can be educated in the West and in the Northwest. And I promise you, through the Transformation Fund, through our new Technological University Research Fund, and through our new Capital Fund, we will make sure that there is a significant upstep in terms of investment in capital in this new university. So today is a big day, but it's just the start of an exciting journey. It's the start of an exciting journey that we're all looking forward to travelling together. One that will take us to a region that creates more jobs, that attracts more investment, that ensures more young people believe they can live in this region and settle in this region and have a career in this region. And it's the start of a journey that makes education in the West and the Northwest one of excellence and truly an inclusive one. I want to offer every single one of you my congratulations and thanks for all the work that you have done to get us to this point. And it is my greatest honour to officially declare the Atlantic Technological University open. Gurv Míle Mágat.
Gurv Míle Mágat Ara. So some of you have been busy tweeting into us. I just want to read out one or two of the tweets that have come our way so far. From the Irish Research Council, welcome to Atlantic Technological University, Ireland's new multi-campus technological university in the West and Northwest. Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. From Northern and Western Assembly, a huge cohortagus to ATU on their momentous birthday today. The future is bright here in the Western and Northern regions. Dr. Joseph Ryan, CEO, Technological Higher Education Association. That crisp, promising dawn is here. Welcome to ATU, and a great logo as well, he says. So, Gurmahagwiv. So you can tweet us, as I say, Atlantic TU is the hashtag to use. So now it's time to take our first trip to head around the region to find out a little bit more about what plans and developments lie ahead. First to Letterkenny, where Donal Kavanagh and his team are standing by. Donal.
Good Micheál, agus fáilteóibh go dtí dún na ngáil. Micheál, I can tell you, I have never seen a video screen applauded with such enthusiasm before. I think that speaks to the commitment here in Letterkenny to the project and to the work ahead. At the heart of ATU is a clear mission to educate and inspire. It's a mission that ATU takes very seriously. It'll build on what's been a long tradition of preparing students for work and for life, and also building linkages with industry and the wider community. More on that anon after this short video.
And we're excited to graduate from the new university.
We'll be part of a bigger student body.
In a multi-campus university.
We'll have lots of opportunities for studying abroad,
For research and access to a wider university network.
Is absolutely fantastic news for our school and the community. It'll bring a huge range of opportunities for our students, our staff and the community.
Students will have greater access and greater flexibility and increased programmes. This critical mass will be created for research and innovation, which is really, really important and will allow us to leverage increased funding.
Atlantic TU is a leading provider of online and flexible higher education, offering nearly 200 programmes with over 5,000 students across Ireland and beyond, plus several thousand students taking short professional development certificates and our free online courses.
For students wishing to study with us across any of our campuses, the idea of sitting in a classroom all day, every day is something that we don't do here, because all of our programmes have the applied learning focus. That means, in addition to your theory classes, students can expect to take part in labs. You'll also have field trips that could be associated with your course depending on the discipline. You may have European educational visits, and many courses also have accredited work placement.
The Atlantic Technological University will present the region with significant opportunities for research students, postgraduate students and researchers in the academic community to collaborate across multiple projects.
So we have a broad diversity of students on campus here, from our apprenticeship students right up to our master's level students. And the way we teach is, there's a diversity in that from part-time, full-time, online, blended learning, work-based learning.
With the changes happening down here in Castlebar, I would be honoured to have a worldwide recognised qualification when I graduate from ATU. All students across Ireland will be privileged to study down here.
As I approach my final few months of study, I look forward to the greater postgraduate opportunities here at Atlantic Technological University.
ATU means to us more adventure and more possibilities.
I'm looking forward to being a part of the ATU community.
The EDI office, Equality, Diversity, Inclusion, is around creating a culture where everyone, all staff and students, feel welcome and are included and are treated with dignity and respect.
We were delighted to receive the Bronze Award for Athena Swan in the Atlantic Technological University. This is an important achievement for us and will inspire future generations of scholars across the university.
We, the Franciscan Brothers, are very happy with the development of the new university, and we believe and are convinced that the Atlantic Technological University will have much to offer, not just the catchment area of the college, but nationally, and also particularly in the promotion of competence-based learning.
By collaborating, we're stronger together.
General Manager and Director with Zeus Industrial Products, and also about Nu Nyungwin. And Nu is the International Student Ambassador here at the Letterkenny campus of ATU Donegal. Seamus, I want to turn to you first. You are Chair of the Northwest Regional Enterprise Plan, and I'm sure linkages with ATU are going to form an absolutely vital part of that strategy.
Yes, the Regional Enterprise Plan was launched about 3 weeks ago by Minister Robert Troy in Sligo, and it's moving into the implementation phase. And I suppose my objective really today is really to talk to the linkages and the concepts of additionality. There's 6 strategic objectives. Those strategic objectives range from entrepreneurship, developing SMEs, the low carbon agenda, promotion of the region, acknowledging the strengths of the region to include wind energy and the blue economy, the linkages and cross-border, and particularly the opportunities that exist for funding across border partnerships. And finally, the concepts of skills. Skills was a late addition to the implementation plan because I believe the principles of skills is fundamental. So what are we talking about when we talk to skills? And the concept of additionality, it's about future skills. So Hilary McParland is the Regional Skills Forum Manager for the Northwest. There are 6 strategic objectives, which I've mentioned, all 6 of the steering committee chairperson. And Hilary is going across all 6 to look to those future skills. And if I take one example, the example of the low carbon agenda, I remember, I'm still young enough to remember, those companies who brought in the concepts of OHS officers into their companies, and they were seen to be forward thinking and having those. I think the future trends around low carbon agenda will be, what are the skill sets required to support companies and organisations meet a low carbon agenda? What does that look like, and where can you get those skill sets? So I believe, just like the then LYIT looked towards the apprenticeships in electrical engineering, I think the future lies for the ATU in identifying and going across each of those strategic objectives with the help of Hilary and identifying where the ATU can assist and where the Regional Enterprise Plan can drive the future of our education to complement and have that synergy.
And with that in mind, you must be happy to hear Minister Harris there just commit to more funding for this to allow those linkages be made even deeper and closer with local industry.
Yeah, I mean, funding is critical to any successful economy, and Ireland's ability to successfully divert its capital resources towards funding and in conjunction with corporations around the country and work together will be critical to that success.
New, turning to you as International Student Ambassador here at the Letterkenny campus, how important is the designation of ATU going to be to you and to your colleagues?
So I think that becoming an Atlantic Technological University, we will have more choice in majors, more choice about campus. We can study in Galway, in Sligo, in Letterkenny, and also like we can have greater access to resources and also like more job opportunities for us. And all of that can bring more international students over here in Ireland. And when we have like a lot of international students, I can like, because for me, study is just not from class, but also from friends and from like everybody around us. So if we have more diversity on campus, we can learn a lot from our friends and broaden my mind. I understand a lot about the power of connecting to people from different parts of the world and broaden my mind.
New, thank you very much indeed. Well, Micheál, that's a flavour of the situation here in Letterkenny. As I said, a very enthusiastic audience in front of us here, following rapidly what's happening on the screen, and we look forward to hearing from the other campuses over the course of the next while. But right now, Micheál, it's back to yourself.
Thank you, Donal and team. So flexible, multi-dimensional options are at the core of the Atlantic TU, available to students of all ages, whether school leavers or many of us who would like to return to further education. And as Seamus mentioned in his talk there, to do so with a low carbon agenda is critical for future generations. So now we're going to take our next virtual tour, and we're heading to the campus in Castlebar, to Angelina Nugent.
We have a very enthusiastic crowd here as well at the Mayo campus. Thank you, Micheál. I think they're trying to outdo Letterkenny and Sligo now, and Galway yet to come. So we have our work cut out for us. We won't mention a day in Croke Park yesterday where we didn't have our work cut out for us in a lot of ways. Anyway, welcome to the Mayo campus of Atlantic Technological University. Atlantic TU will provide a huge boost to our region and beyond. Students who prior to this had to leave the West and Northwest for a university education will be able to access that on their doorstep. Statistics show that those who study in a region in turn work within that region. University status will also attract more international students to this area, providing welcome economic benefits. With 8 campus locations, soon to be 9, Atlantic TU will collaborate with local business to ensure the courses on offer will meet the needs of employers in this region, thereby making the entire area more attractive for foreign direct investment. Let's get a flavour of what this development will mean for the region.
The Atlantic Technological University is home to over 1,100 international students from 80 different nationalities. In the words of W.B. Yeats, there are no strangers here, just friends you haven't yet met.
Atlantic Technological University will provide greater opportunity for international students like me in the West and Northwest region.
Through Brexit, there's been a greater focus on the Northwest border region, and this has been emphasised also in the New Decade New Approach Agreement and the establishment of the Shared Dining Unit within the Department of TISA. This is a good time for the Atlantic Technological University to come on stream to deliver for the tertiary education cluster for this region.
I'm very excited to have parity of esteem, I suppose, with our colleagues across Europe who are in a similar status of university, and looking very much forward to the future.
For the first time, the IDA will be able to say to investors, Sligo is a university town. That is a powerful statement in today's world, where skilled and educated talent is regarded by companies as the most important ingredient in their success formula.
I remember the college being built because I grew up just around the corner from it, and to see it becoming an ATU now and maturing into what it is, and the legacy that it's bringing with it, and the fact that the current generation, the next generations and the unborn generations are going to benefit from this is a very proud day for Galway, a very proud day for me as a Galway person, and I think it's going to just be wonderful for the west of Ireland.
It's going to bring more students into the town, it's going to bring more visitors into the town, their parents have to come and visit the town. This is the best news that we've had in 10 years and I'm absolutely buzzing about it.
It's an opportunity to develop communication and links with the local community groups and local business, and we see that as a driver to develop the local economy.
And there are lots of exciting days ahead, and I truly wish the Atlantic Technological University a great beginning and a mighty start. I'm sure you're going to do great work and create magic here along the West Coast.
A flavour there of what benefits there will be to our region from Atlantic Technological University. Delighted to be joined by some special guests here at the Mayo campus as well. We want you to give a warm welcome to Michael Murphy from Mayo Sligo Leitrim Education and Training Board and Emily McGrory, student here at Atlantic Technological University. Michael, first of all, how will Atlantic TU benefit the region and beyond?
Thank you, Angelina. First, I'd like to congratulate Dr. Orla Flynn and all the stakeholders of today's launch. It's a very exciting time to be involved with education in the West and Northwest region. I really think that the university is going to fundamentally change the way that education is delivered in the West and Northwest regions. It gives a lot of opportunities to students. So firstly, with the students, they'll have the opportunity to live, study and work in the region. And the economic benefit of that cannot be underestimated, because rather than students going away to national or international destinations, they will be staying to get access to university infrastructure within our region, which is very, very beneficial. Secondly, in terms of the educational partners in the region, so there's 3 educational and training boards that are based in the region, and it gives them huge progression opportunities, so from further education right into higher education, and it allows them again to stay and study in the region, and the opportunities for those students cannot be underestimated. So I think to be a learner or a student in the Western region at the moment is a golden time to allow you to study in the region. And then finally, industry. It's very, very important that the new university will build on I suppose, the strong relationships that have already been there between the Institutes of Technology, and it will allow research and development to occur, and it gives companies access to that in the region, and it's bound to increase their actual retention rates of employees and how they can attract internationally well-educated, ready-for-work employees. So again, it's a very exciting time to be involved in education. education at the moment. So thank you.
It certainly is, Michael. And for the students as well, Emily, what are the students here most looking forward to in being part of Atlantic TU?
Well, firstly, thank you for having me so much. It's so exciting to be here, and to even have the opportunity to speak on behalf of all the students is absolutely amazing. One thing I would really say that the students are looking forward to is adventure. And an adventure really means different things to each individual amazing student going on in each campus. And for adventure, it means new experiences, new skills, new ways of learning, and really a massive part of the student life would be things like clubs and societies. And I think with this merger now in the ATU, it's an absolutely massive benefit to bounce ideas off in relation to clubs and societies.
For future students then, Emily, what will the benefits be, both students here in the West and Northwest and international students?
So what would benefit the students the best is really a sense of community. Like what was repeated here today is absolutely bang on about not only can you have a sense of community among whatever campus you're on, but really to connect to your local communities and your local regions and really connect together and benefit each other. So students, organisations, small businesses can really come together and benefit from each other. And I'm really, I can't wait to promote, a sense of community. I think it's very important to connect to place and build a massive value and morals around the region and things like that. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, Emily and Michael, I think you've captured the spirit of it so well as to why Atlantic TU will benefit the region and beyond. So from a very lively Mayo campus, it's goodbye for now and back to you, Micheál in Sligo.
It's fantastic to hear all of that enthusiasm and excitement building today. And just to echo what Emily said there about the students hoping that adventure forms part of this new Atlantic TU experience, those of us who are fortunate to live in this Atlantic region know full well what an amazing place it is to live. And despite the fact that you might need a waterproof jacket today, most days those clouds aren't long disappearing, and your nearest mountain or beach walk is rarely more than a few moments away. So a couple of tweets coming in, and thank you for them, to hashtag AtlanticTU. IDA Northwest tweeting, a momentous day in the Northwest. Hello Atlantic TU and welcome. We now have 8 university towns, 20,000 students, 2,200 plus staff and 600 plus courses to choose from. You are a game changer for the region. And Crew Digital tweeting, 10 years in the making, delighted to be at the landmark launch today for the region and higher education in Ireland. Congratulations to all involved. So thank you for those, and there are many more coming in. But now we're going to move on to our next speaker. So to the oversight of this new entity, whereby 3 colleges across 8 campuses will come together to work collaboratively and with a common approach to face the challenges ahead. Would you please welcome the Chair of the Governing Body of Atlantic TU, Maura McNally.
Good morning, everybody. And I would just like to say, firstly, thank you to everyone who's here this morning. And just to follow on from what Micheál has just said about clouds, every cloud has a silver lining. And in fact, today's great silver lining and great historic occasion is this launch of the Atlantic Technological University, the ATU. The ATU has the capacity to be transformative. It is not just our university, it is your university, and it is a single university for the most unique region. And that unique region is the West and Northwest, the border counties, and of course, the Atlantic coastal counties. It is a region that for a long time has been forgotten. It is a region that has fed other communities, both at home and abroad, through emigration, where our young people and people seeking prosperity and hope have emigrated. And the net result of that has been an imbalance, where, as I said on Friday, if Ireland was a weighing scales, you tip it to the east. That is no longer going to happen. There will no longer be a requirement for emigration. Hopefully, we will have immigration. And access to education. It is a right. It is only just and right that we have a university here on our doorstep. A university which will provide access to education and education to our young people, to our old people, to people regardless of race, colour, creed, socioeconomic background, or whatever. You should not have to travel to have that right. You no longer have to travel to have that right. We have it here on our doorstep, and we are the people who can promote it. We are the people who can ensure that the next generation avail of it, the next generation grow. Education provides belief in the individual. It provides for progress in that individual. And as that individual progresses, so too does the community. So too does the region. And ultimately, we will be able to believe in ourselves, invest in ourselves, invite outside investment, promote small to medium enterprises, promote local industry, because we will have the great resource of an educated mass where every single person in this region can have access to that education. It is also transformative, the ATU. It will transform our region, where we will see population growth, where we will see young people stay, where we will hopefully see people come home because we have the educational capacity, we have what the East Coast has, we have what they have abroad, we have sustainability. I firmly believe that we are the people who can lead this forward, the people of this region. It is our university, it is your university. It is up to each and every one of us to encourage people to apply, avail of that access to education, avail of that education. 20,200 students, that's not enough. That's only a starting point. That should be yesterday's news. Tomorrow's news should be 44,000 students, 68,000 students. We should mark ourselves on this map. We should make ourselves known not only throughout this nation, but internationally. This can become a local university, a regional university, but also an international university. Before I finish, and you'll be delighted to know I will finish, I would just like to thank the Minister for all of his support. I would also like to say I'm absolutely in awe of the work that has been undertaken by people. Personally, I thought it was only for the last 2.5 years, but I was corrected in that misinterpretation. This has been going on for a decade of achievement, and it is finally here today. And finally, on behalf of myself and on behalf of the members of the governing board, not only would I like to wish each and every one of you success, but I would also like to congratulate the person who is going to lead you forward in a unified fashion, the first president of the Atlantic Technological University, Dr. Orla Flynn. So thank you.
Thank you, Maura, for those inspirational words, and it's great to hear such an emotional clarion call going out for the region. The time has come where we can offer those students who maybe traditionally would have moved out of the region, some of them maybe never coming back, an opportunity to stay in the region, to further their education, to work in the region, to live in the region, and that would be our hope as people who have children, as people who want to make sure that the population of this region grows and grows well into the future. So now to the final leg of our campus tour. And we're going to Galway, where Ollie Turner is ready to bring us up to speed on events there. Ollie.
Come on, Galway! Gonna be Agat Mihal, August Fáilte go Galliv. We're also pumped up after Maura's speech that we're just ready to go out onto the field with a hurl in one hand, a football in the other, and just break something. Fair play to you, Maura. That was great stuff. And Galway laying down a marker, Mihal, and Angelina, and to those of you right across from Donegal down to Sligo, but in particular those of you in Mayo, well, we're in the long grass waiting for you lads, just a couple of weeks away. Our theme here is talent and sustainability. And of course, there was never any shortage of talent here in Galway. But in terms of sustainability, ATU is very much committed to that very theme. And even for today's launch, we have sourced some promotional products with the reduced impact on the environment. So let's have a look at this video as we talk about our theme of talent and sustainability.
Atlantic Technological Universities means us sports scholars get greater opportunities. It also means a greater collaboration between the university campuses.
For me, ATU is an exciting opportunity to expand our communities of practice for students, staff, and alongside industry. We have this great chance to develop and showcase innovation from the west of Ireland.
Atlantic Technological University is giving a lot of importance to technological research, particularly in the area of nanotechnology. We have a number of funded projects by European Commission, Enterprise Ireland, and also Science Foundation Ireland. Education is your passport, particularly for the STEM education, and you can fly anywhere you want. I was born and brought up in the south part of India. It's exactly 8,280 kilometers from here, and I'm here now.
University status will have a massive impact to the sustainability in terms of attracting skills to the sector and enabling us to grow the blue economy across multiple of disciplines.
We are really proud of our campuses with Green Flag designations. This is an award that not only acknowledges our own housekeeping and how we look after our buildings and our estates, but also how we thread sustainability through our teaching and learning programs and our research, but more importantly as well, how we engage with our wider communities.
STEM, that's science, technology, engineering and mathematics, is really important to the Atlantic Technological University. We really need talented STEM graduates here in this region to deal with all the challenges around a transition to a green economy, things like clean energy, more sustainable transport infrastructure, as well as supporting our manufacturing industry and our economy in terms of jobs and our medical device industry here in the north and west of Ireland.
So we are delighted to welcome Rongahane from our local school, Gaelstul Dara, to come in and get a taste of technology. And our second year students from the software and electronic engineering degree are delighted to be studying civic engagement, where they get a chance to reflect on their contribution to the local community.
We love coming here today to learn Scratch code, and we were all so excited this morning. It is great to finally see what inside the college looks like. It is much bigger than our school, Gaelstul Dara. We're very excited to be here today.
Welcome back here to Galway, where our special guests are Michael Smith, the CEO of Cope Galway, and Dr. João Frias, the ATU Galway researcher. Michael, I'm going to start with you. Why is it important, do you think, for ATU to have a clear focus on community engagement?
Thanks, Ali. Delighted to be back here in GMIT. I studied here 2008, 2012, and to hear the buzz around it's absolutely palpable, so it's really great to be back. I think from a community engagement perspective, it's so important that we build, you know, the work that GMIT, Sligo IT and LYIT have done on in the relationships they develop within their communities, and the deep roots that are set there. That's a real opportunity for ATU to grow and to expand that reach, to build on them opportunities, to build on them relationships. So from a community engagement perspective, creating pathways for the youth of tomorrow, the youth of today, to get into university, to get into the university that's now offered to them on their doorstep. It's so important that ATU comes together, grows and builds on from where we have left off to really harness that opportunity. It's really exciting. Yeah,
and for the voluntary and community sector then, I mean, what does this launch of the new university mean?
Sure. So for example, in Coop Galway, where I work, we've about 450 volunteers active every week. So to hear that there are going to be, you know, about 20,000 students up and down the west of Ireland, that we can create partnerships with this technological university with, to create an impact, a real impact in the communities that we're working in, and attempting to address some of the social challenges that we face in our communities that are there every single day. We will provide the students and ATU with an opportunity to see what that life is like on the ground. So not only from that perspective, but also from a community-based research perspective as well. I think there's a real opportunity for us to partner with the university, the community and voluntary sector, to, you know, hand in hand, lead the way as to how we want this region to look into the future, attempt to address some of the social challenges that we have in our communities right across Ireland. So it's really exciting from that perspective.
Zhao, as I turn to you, how does your local research fit into global sustainability efforts?
Hi, Oli, thanks. So our research is policy-driven, it's education-oriented, is recognized not only nationally, but also internationally. And in terms of like collaborations that we do, we've actively contributed to the 2019 microbeads prohibition bill. So we're kind of on top of the game, let's put it like that.
And what kind of results have your team gathered so far?
Well, we mainly do research here in Galway Bay, and we follow ecosystem-based approaches to our research. We compare, of course, our results, which are standardized, so that we are able to compare it to other researchers across the globe. And I can say that for surface waters, for sediment, and for organisms, the levels of microplastics are quite low, for instance, compared to the Mediterranean. And in a recent study from this year on the Dublin Bay prawn, I can say that the levels of microplastics are really low in comparison to other areas in Europe.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yes.
Thank you very much to Zhao and as well to Michael as well. And of course, the most important result that Zhao will have enjoyed over the last week was Portugal qualifying for the World Cup. So well done to you, Zhao, and good luck to your team.
Thank you.
We might just jump on your bandwagon for next year if that's okay. Thanks again to the lads for being here. But of course, we're talking about what ATU will mean for the region. So let's have a look at this video. It's titled Future is Here.
I'm very excited to be one of the first batch of students who will graduate with a university degree.
It would be great to have a university degree. I think definitely that'd be good.
I think it provides more funding opportunities.
I think it's great for students to have engagement over 8 different campuses.
But I think it's going to be fun across the board.
With all of the talent that we have across the campuses, we're going to be able to develop new research opportunities, postgraduate opportunities in areas like film and TV, animation and design.
As we look to the future as the Mayo campus of the Atlantic Technological University, I think it's important that we also look back and recognise the vision of the people that have gone before us in identifying Castlebar as a town that needed a higher education institute. So we hope we can build on that vision and continue to go from strength to strength in the university.
We have an amazing opportunity to work with more people in the Students' Union, to collaborate on ideas and opportunities, and to allow the students to have a bigger and better experience.
What I really like about this place is the pipelines that they have into industry. I feel with my professional practice and stuff that I've got a lot of real life experience before I've even left college. So
We have a huge tradition and a culture of creativity right across many different disciplines. And because of the digital nature of our world today, you can work anywhere in the world from the west of Ireland.
The expansion of creative educational opportunities offered by the Atlantic TU will contribute towards a thriving hub of creativity and really build confidence in the arts ecosystem regionally and locally.
So look, this is a great day. I think we should celebrate and enjoy it, everybody. And we look forward to collaborating as best we can with the new Atlantic Technological University into the future.
The ATU to me, and to a lot of students I'm assuming, means better opportunities because they'll all at the end of the day be getting a university degree instead of a college degree.
This could lead to more job opportunities outside of my community and abroad.
I'm working with the students on a daily basis and I really feel a lot of excitement with the launch of the ATU. I'm looking forward to see even more students through our doors once we are at the university campus.
The expertise that will be available to us here in Mount Bellew and that we can lend back into the ATU network will benefit all in agriculture and agricultural education and agricultural training.
We look forward to working with the Atlantic Technological University Connemara to further our goals and to improve the lives of people living in Connemara.
And we're really looking forward to being part of the ATU community.
Yeah, the future is very much here. Time now to hear from our student representative here today. He's a Roscommon man who walked in here with a real swagger after their win yesterday in Croke Park, but we'll forgive him for that. Let's welcome and hear from Colin Kearney.
Firstly, thank you, Ollie, and hello everyone here. I'm thrilled to speak to you today and honoured to say for the first time officially that I'm speaking as a representative of the Atlantic TU Students' Union. The air of excitement from the students on Designation Day last Friday was incredible, and having spoken with students over a range of the campuses since then, I keep hearing the same thing. This makes sense now. We're a university. It brings to mind the phrase, seeing is believing, and we can now all see what has been achieved. GMIT, LYIT, and IT Sligo have come together to form a technological university for the West and Northwest. I'm humbled by the work and the dedication of so many to bring us to this point, and to all of you, I want to say thank you. Over the last number of months, students have stopped me on the corridor and asked me, what does the ATU mean to me? This is what we in the Students' Union have been telling them. It means you may not have to leave your home to go to college. It means more prosperity for our beautiful region. You won't have to leave after graduation to find a job or to do further study or research. And for those of you who do want to travel, it means you can, and you will have a university degree that is internationally recognizable. Most of our students choose to study in GMIT, LYIT, or IT Sligo because of the small classes, friendly atmosphere, and applied learning that the Institutes of Technology have always been famous for. I'm confident here today in saying that these will be the defining features of the Atlantic TU, but with even more opportunities. For me as a student, my place of refuge was the offices of the Students' Union. Listening to me speak here today, you may wish it wasn't. Bearing that in mind, I was well warned I'd be dragged off this mic if needed, so I think it's best that I'll finish up with one last point. To make this point, I'm putting on my Students' Union hat once again. And as always, when I do, I encourage anyone that needs us or wants to get to know us, please do so. I'm no longer speaking for students of the Atlantic TU, but to the students of the Atlantic TU, current and future. In doing so, I'm taking a line from a very wise former president of this college, who I know is sitting here in front of me. A strong Students' Union helps to widen the horizons of all the students and to encourage their participation in a wider college life. I would like to wish the Atlantic TU the very best of luck and look forward to seeing it grow and our region grow over the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Colin. Well, pretty much almost wraps it up from Galway then. I've just realised I've had one of those moments where I was so far ahead of my time back in the 90s because I didn't leave the house either when I was going to university. Thanks to Colin, his next appearance will be at the Rose of Tralee International Festival in August. But from everybody here in Galway, it's back to you in Sligo, Micheál.
Thank you, Ollie. I think the crowds are getting bigger every time we visit a new centre. It's amazing the noise that's coming back from each of our campuses. Before we move on, and we're drawing not far from the conclusion of this morning's event for you, a couple of more tweets coming in. Georgina Kilcoyne, Assistant General Manager, Sligo University Hospital, has been tweeting using the hashtag AtlanticTU. Congratulations to our neighbours IT Sligo on officially becoming Atlantic Technological University. Looking forward to strengthening our working relationship here at the hospital with ATU and continuing to challenge the status quo. Galway City Innovation District say, a proud day for Galway, the west and northwest of Ireland. On behalf of the board and team of Galway City Innovation District, Comhghairdeas Ó Chroí, the Orla Flynn, and all at Atlantic Technological University. Owen Fury, exciting times, proud to be part of Atlantic TU Donegal. The future is bright, ní neart go cur le chéile. And Alan Mulrooney, finally, a decade of work comes together today as the West and Northwest now has a university. Emotional speeches from those who want to ensure that our region grows, that it offers our children the same opportunities, attracts inward investment and skills, a game-changing day. Now, we move on. So we now have a performance, and a new performance indeed, from the ATU Virtual Choir, which is made up of colleagues and staff across all of the ATU campuses. And here they are with their rendition of a track made famous by the musical The Greatest Showman. It's titled, aptly, A Million Dreams.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest star.
Mashiv. Well, one of the main advantages of working cooperatively and in having university status means that there's greater opportunity for research and international collaboration, as well as attracting foreign direct investment into the region. To tell us more about this and other matters, will you please welcome the new President of Atlantic TU, Dr. Orla Flynn.
Aris Simon Harris, Cahirlach Maura, agus Cahard the Galair. Is mór an onordum bheith an seo modern speisialta seo, agus bhfualam fáilte críúil a choróibh go dtí ollscoil teicneolaíochta an Atlantic. Fáiltíam ribh na Harí, na teachtaí dála, na Shenadóí, agus na honadaí poiblí atá ag ceiliúr ling inniuh, an seo é sligach agus iad ag teachling ar lína freisin ó gach campus de chuid na hallscoile. Clán mór nua atá going inis, agus mar dúirt mé de hína nach bhfuil sé sin go hiontach. Hello everyone, and welcome to the celebrations marking the establishment of Atlantic Technological University and the formation of a new community that will serve the west and northwest part of our country. Friday was a day for our new community. We came together and we celebrated. Today, it's time for us to look outwards, beyond our boundaries, and extending past our campus gates. We are ultimately an organization of service, serving our region in many ways. Through provision of excellent educational opportunities, through developing collaborative, engaged research, through building relationships outside the region by developing international partnerships overseas and with our cross-border neighbours. We will be an anchor institution with a footprint in every corner of our region. We aspire to developing one university to serve our unique region, and the words of our chair left us in absolutely no doubt as to the tone to be set. Gormagat Mora. We will indeed support access and opportunity for all. And over the next few years, we will be developing a coherent and cohesive strategy, and we're going to be talking a lot about values. Some of our current values must remain to the forefront of what we do, and I speak now of our commitment to our students. This must carry through to our new technological university. And when we are thinking of how best to serve the learners of the university, we won't go too far wrong. And indeed, it's a particular pleasure to see so many students joining us this morning here, physically present and online. However, if there is one value that I would urge us all to embrace in the coming months, it is to be generous. For our new university to thrive, it needs us all to show generosity of spirit, to get to know one another across all campuses, to better understand the needs of the wider region, to understand that there are many perspectives and ambitions, and to be generous in including them alongside our own. And I extend that challenge to those many of you joining us today who have responsibilities elsewhere, to our political representatives, to our state agencies, to our industry and business representatives. We must work with you to achieve our own aims. Collaboration and partnership with you will be essential, for we cannot achieve this on our own. And I would respectfully request that all shoulders be put to that wheel, including yours, Minister Harris, for we will especially need your help and support to build capacity for the road ahead. And I must say, Minister, your earlier words were very encouraging in that regard. On Friday, we reflected on the contributions of those who got us to this day, to this point in our journey. Míle buíochas arís to our entire community of staff, students, alumni, and retired staff. Thank you also to outgoing presidents Paul Hannigan and Brendan McCormack previous chairs of our governing bodies, Fintan Maloney, Neil O'Donnell and Cormac McDonagh, as well as our committed CUA chairperson for the last decade, Martin Cronin. Today is about 3 strategic partners coming together and who are now committed legally at last after so many years working together. As 3 partners, we've had to work that bit harder to find our common road. We've put in the hard miles, now we can reap those benefits. We have seen many examples of generosity on our journey so far. But now we face to a new horizon, seeking to build on what we've developed together over the last few years as the Connacht Ulster Alliance. Our challenge is to entwine our 3 separate paths into one, to face in one direction and to walk side by side together. There are those among you who will rightly remind me that we are long past merely walking side by side, that we are already jogging, running, and even sprinting, and I think you can see that from our singing earlier on. I want to pay tribute to our new chairperson, Maura McNally, and to the members of our inaugural governing body. I have absolutely no doubt but that we are in excellent hands, and I am very grateful, we're all very grateful to you, Minister Harris, for your vision in appointing such inspiring and committed people to these roles. I want to conclude by thanking all those on all our campuses who assisted with the preparation for the events of today and throughout the busy week of events ahead. Colleagues in IT, buildings and estates, communications, marketing, event management, hospitality, and across all of our various project teams. Gurv Mila Mila Magwev. Ariera Guillaume Gachra. Ariera Guillaume Gachra Orings Nablinta Machroing Agus Gunairian Taling Golair. Gurmagwev.
Orla. So as we reach the conclusion for this morning's event, I'd just like to remind you that if you'd like to find out more about the exciting times that lie ahead and a little bit more information about the university, you can visit atu.ie or follow our social media channels across multiple platforms. I've just been told that the hashtag that we've been using throughout the event, AtlanticTU, is now trending at number 2 on Twitter. So like everything we're trying to accomplish today, if we keep talking and tweeting, we'll get up to number 1 and we'll stay there. So I suppose just to wrap up, I suppose the Shanukkel that we all learnt in school has probably never been more apt than it is today. Ninart Gakurla Kayla, there is strength in unity, I should say. And I suppose today we'd like to thank in particular the people who have had the vision to get Atlantic Technological University to the starting gate. And we wish everybody involved the greatest of success in the future. And we leave you this morning with a final message, which is one of hope, partnership, and endeavour.
Here, empowered by the Atlantic, west and northwest. Breathe in, deep, vast, abundant, evolving, determined. Here, our story continues. A place for all to co-create and exchange ideas, to challenge. A multi-campus university to serve our community, our culture, our economy. Diverse, sustainable, inclusive, social. Here we are learners, educators, thinkers, makers, innovators. Here we grow together. Here we collaborate, we investigate, we connect. Here we inspire and be inspired. We promote excellence. We ignite passion. Here we combine academic and research excellence, matched with quality of life and opportunity. Here our impact is global, but our hearts are local. We are vibrant, energetic, effective, compassionate. Here for opportunity, here for possibility, here for ambition, here for commitment, here for achievement. Here is your new university. Atlantic Technological University. Old School Technolegta on Atlantic. The future is here.